This is a presentation about an exciting new project occurring at Interlakes Elementary School. It's called the Interlakes Elementary School Living Classroom Greenhouse Project. Planting the seeds of knowledge in a different way. Children have a natural curiosity and love of the natural world, and the Living Classroom Project seeks to capture that curiosity and ignite student learning. Our vision. Our vision is to create a state-of-the-art greenhouse that will serve as a year-round living classroom for students in grades pre-K to 6. We hope to create an experiential, hands-on learning venue that will ignite student learning in a variety of new and novel ways. Some of the guiding principles which direct our work. We believe that there is a need for students to connect to the natural world, to learn about the environmental sciences, environmental stewardship, healthy living, and sustainable environmental practices. We also believe that students need to be actively engaged in their learning. Learning occurs in a deeper way when students interact with the subject matter that they're studying. The Living Classroom will enable our teachers to create exciting and engaging new lessons and learning activities while promoting a respect for nature. Through the Living Classroom, we will also create new partnerships with local residents and with local organizations throughout our communities, and these partnerships will have mutual benefits for everyone. Other guiding principles. Children are concrete thinkers, and much of what we teach them is taught abstractly. There's a mismatch there. Students often have very little direct personal experience in many of the things that we're trying to teach them, and we believe this has to change. Today's generation is also the first to grow up indoors, with many of our students living largely plugged-in lives. We believe it's time to reconnect them to nature. It's been shown that outdoor time can improve cognitive functioning, reduce attentional concerns, and promote increased self-discipline and emotional well-being. All of those things can occur in the living classroom. We need to get children's sleeves rolled up and their hands in the dirt. We believe it's time for them to learn in many new and novel ways that can occur in the living classroom. You may have seen this graphic before. It's from William Glasser, and it talks about how we learn. As you can see, 10% of what we read, we learn, and 20% of what we hear, we learn. Those are sort of low percentages, but look at the percentage of what we experience. When we experience learning, when we're immersed in learning, when we're connected with learning in a hands-on way, we learn 80% from that experience. The Living Classroom will connect to our school curriculum in many, many ways. And this is a list that shows some of the topics that will be covered easily in the Living Classroom greenhouse, and students will get much more when they're actually engaged in learning within the greenhouse than they would from reading about these things in a textbook. So what about the greenhouse design? We are proposing to build a 24-foot by 48-foot rigid frame polycarbonate greenhouse. Polycarbonate, for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, just refers to the building material that we will use for the roof and the sides. It's almost sort of a clear, hard plastic shell material, and it's much more durable than plastic. The greenhouse will be built to operate with a minimal amount of purchased electricity. We're really trying to go green on this project. And I think one of the most exciting features is that the greenhouse will include a supplemental heating design. We're going to use solar energy to produce subterranean heat. Let me show you a picture of what that's going to look like. So here's a picture of the subterranean heating design. We're actually going to dig down 4 feet and lay some pipes with holes in them, some tubes, and then we're going to use solar panels to actually pump hot air down below the surface of the soil into these pipes, and that warm air will then radiate up through the soil. So not only will we be heating our soil from above, we'll be heating it from below. Here's a picture of our greenhouse design. You can see that polycarbonate clear substance that we'll be using on the sides there. Here's another view. You'll notice in the upper left-hand picture that there's a gutter, and that's to capture rainwater, obviously. And our goal is to recapture and reclaim that rainwater and actually use that within the greenhouse. And there's one more view of the greenhouse from the side. The estimate cost of construction is $65,000, and that includes all plans, materials, site work, installation, furnishings, and consultation fees. Staffing. We're going to use one of our existing early intervention teachers to provide direct oversight of the living classroom. She'll serve as the caretaker and will also help teachers develop and integrate lessons in the greenhouse. Of course, staff and other students will be assisting in that care as well. Sustainability. Financially, that sustainability will occur through the annual school budgeting process. The physical upkeep of the greenhouse will occur with staff, students, and our maintenance department. And again, having a teacher serve as a caretaker is essential. We also will be establishing some partnerships with local residents and local organizations that will help us sustain the program, such as the New Hampshire Cooperative Extension Service, local master gardeners, local farms, and community volunteers. So, some questions and answers. What are our goals in creating the living classroom? Well, our goals are to provide students with an opportunity to learn in a hands-on, experiential manner, to engage students and ignite their learning in new and novel ways, and also to foster an appreciation and understanding of nature and environmental stewardship. How do we envision using the living classroom? We anticipate using it in many, many different ways. It will allow us to do hands-on teaching and learning experiences in all areas of the curriculum. It will provide a venue for student enrichment and intervention, and it can serve as an alternate programming site and a place for individualized education. Who will be responsible for the daily operation and oversight of the living classroom? We'll be using an existing teacher at Interlakes Elementary School to oversee the daily operations and to work with other teachers to integrate the living classroom at all grade levels. How much will it cost to construct the living classroom? Approximately $65,000. How many students will use the living classroom? Well, we hope that all of our pre-K to 6 students will use the living classroom. It is large enough to accommodate an entire class at one time. During which seasons will the living classroom be used? Using that solar and subterranean heating system, our living classroom will be used virtually year-round. Might vandalism be a problem? We certainly hope it's not, but we will propose installing motion-activated lighting and a security camera to help minimize any risk of vandalism. What is the annual cost for maintaining the living classroom? We estimate approximately $1,000 per year for soil, plant seeds, any minimal amount of electricity that we use, water, and consultation. So again, about $1,000 at the most per year. What are the potential funding sources? Well, we are looking for funding sources from everywhere right now to raise $65,000. We're going to be looking at grants from the federal government, the state government, along with acceptance of donations from local organizations and from individuals. And if you are watching this and you are compelled to want to contribute in some way, we would gladly welcome your donation. You can send a check to Dr. Steve Kelly at Interlakes Elementary School, make that check out to the Interlakes School District, or contact Dr. Kelly at 279-7968. All donations will be gladly accepted. Well, we thank you for watching this slideshow and encourage you to go to our school website, www.interlakes.org, /ILES and click on the Greenhouse Project to learn more. You can also email Dr. Kelly any questions you might have or contact him in any way regarding ideas and suggestions. So once again, thank you for watching this presentation and for any possible financial support you might consider in supporting the living classroom at Interlakes Elementary School.